Play the game of life differently, part 2. Hello, my name is Job Baltes and welcome to this new video. I am on a mission to help as many people as possible to express themselves. That is why I make all my videos, that is why I'm writing all my articles, and that is why I am engaged in social media in the first place. To provide as much value as possible and share my journey. First of all, Happy New Year! I wish everybody a blissful 2024. Now, let's dive into the video. After this second part of this video series, you will be able to know the difference between wealth and status, the importance of morals, and you will be able to check in with yourself and your intentions. I ended the last video with the sentence, your goal in the game called life is either bounded to wealth or status. In the previous video I talked about two approaches to the game called life, a infinite or a finite approach. If you haven't seen the previous video, I would recommend you to check that one out first, just so you have a bit more of context behind this video. If you already know the difference between an infinite game and a finite game and everything is perfectly clear to you, please stay, you're welcome. You can also read the article, redefine your game of life, and then everything will be clear as well. So you can have an infinite or a finite approach to your game called life. Your goal in the game called life is either bounded to wealth or status. What is a wealth game and what is a status game? Wealth games are positive sum games, meaning that everyone can win. Having enough money, being healthy, and having good relationships are really important parts of wealth games. You want everyone to win in a wealth game. You want everybody to be healthy, and you want to have a good long-term relation with each other in the end. Taking care of your body so you have the power to create and take care of others, have a healthy mind, stable emotions to lead, working on your mental strength, your emotional intelligence, you feeling good about yourself can make you happier and way more peaceful, which will make you wealthier. Doing things that make you happy, give you purpose, make you feel accomplished, also contributes to wealth. You are of value and you create things that are worth something, which in the long run can bring you money. Wealth isn't about having lots of things. Wealth is about having a life of abundance, healthy and fulfilling, with enough money, of course, but without showing off. Wealth is what you don't see. Status games are zero-sum games, meaning that somebody has to lose for somebody else to win. That is because status is often based off comparison with others. It is a bit more of the ideology an eye for an eye. Well, if you always keep on doing that, in the end you will make the whole world blind. What you can define as status are things you see, like expensive watches or cars, so-called symbols of status. Big universal titles are also seen as symbols of status, like being a doctor or a lawyer is also a good one. It is for yourself that you can have it and somebody else cannot. From the moment that we started having belongings and titles, the status game was born. Because that was the moment where you could have started comparing and be so-called better than somebody else. Just so you know, there's no right or wrong in a status game or a wealth game. But it's just good to know that you can be conscious about it to know in which part you're playing what kind of game. Just ask yourself, why am I playing the status game or the wealth game for X, Y, or Z? It's totally up to you. There are two things that can define you. Your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything. The importance of morals. Based on someone's morals, you can most of the time determine which kind of game somebody else is playing. If you have bad morals, you're mostly in a finite approach where you will do everything to win for the status to gain, even though it could cost somebody else to lose. A zero-sum game. Look at almost all politicians. They're all in status games because they want the other part of the politics to lose, to gain their status and to crack up their power. With status games, your morals can be questioned a lot of the times. I hope you can imagine that people will not stay with you for the long term or keep coming back to you when you have really bad morals. Bad morals will cost you more in the end than you will know. And good morals, based on integrity and honesty, will most of the time will not help you in the short term, but in the long term, they will. And you will be profitable if you keep on doing the right thing. Why wouldn't you come back to someone with good morals? Just remember, what you give is what you get at some point. To put it in the words of John D. Rockefeller, the man who starts out with the idea of simply getting rich will not succeed. You must have a larger ambition. Checking yourself on your intentions. You can categorize your intentions into two types of power. P power for personal gains, S power for selflessness gains. P power for personal gain. Most often it desires status and it is a bit more careless with their morals. They want the best for themselves in the end. And in the deepest urge, they rather get than give. Of course they give, but they would give to get, to gain status. S power for selflessness gain. Power relative to achievement of a community goal. It is always more selfless because it is to build something for the greater good. It is filled with meaning that goes along in their actions. That is why it is mostly bounded to good morals. Your intention, so your P power or S power, defines in which category of morals you will fall into more easily. The power could stand for status or wealth gained through the infinite or the finite approach. Load your game. Ask yourself a couple of questions. Which games am I playing in what parts of my life? Wealth or status? With a infinite or a finite approach? With intentions based on P power or S power? Selflessness or personal gains. Change your approach to your goals or change your goals by being conscious of the game you're playing. To play the game called life in the right way, in your way. That's it for this video. You can click on the link down below if you don't want to wait for the next video to read the article called The Art of Influence, the Hidden Sales in Daily Interactions. Else I would say like, subscribe, and of course check out the article in the link down below and all the other links to my socials. Ciao!